Hi grade ones, welcome to the Jolly Phonics video for this week. Today I will be doing pages 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, let's start on page 27. So just like always, I will be reading all the words out slowly. Your job is to write them down, and then I will go over the spelling and post the words in the video so that you can check it. This is the perfect time to stop the video, pause it if you haven't gotten your Jolly Phonics and your pencil yet. So pause here and then come right back when you're ready. Okay, so let's start with the words. So remember grade ones, we need to be careful of the vowel sounds. So if it's a long vowel and saying its own name, then it's two vowels. If it's a short vowel and it's making the sound like A, so for the letter A, the sound, then it's only one vowel usually, okay? So let's start. First word is log. The frog sat on the log. Log. Jam. I really like apricot jam on my toast. Jam. Bat. Bat. I use the baseball bat to play baseball. Bat. Loft. Loft. I went upstairs to the loft. Loft. Hunt. Hunt. I lost my toy, so I went for a hunt around the house for it. Hunt. Shut. Shut. I shut the door to my bedroom. Chest. Chest. My chest moves when I breathe. Chest. Tooth. Tooth. Abdullah lost his tooth last week. Tooth. Tree. Tree. The tree was in the backyard. Tree. Okay, the last word, the tricky word, it sounds like it's two words, but it's just one. Oil can. Oil can. I use the oil can to fix my bike. Oil can. Okay, so now I'm going to read all of the words one more time. Make sure that you're going down the list and seeing if you've spelt them correctly. Log. Jam, bat, loft, hunt, shut, chest, tooth, tree, oil can. Okay, so pause the video here if you need any more time to fix any words. And if you are ready, I will put the words up on the screen here so you can mark it. Okay, moving on. So now that you've finished marking your words, let's move on to the rest of the page. So at the top of page 27, you will see, write the sections of the alphabet in red, yellow, green, and blue. So I want you to try your best to look around your house and find those colors of pencil crayons. So a red, a yellow, a green, and a blue. Okay, if you don't have those colors, then you can use a different color, but I would prefer if you have those colors. So if you look on page 27, you will see that there are boxes with letters and each box is a different color. So once you have your pencil crayons, so if you need some more time, pause the video right here. So take your red pencil crayon and you are going to trace inside the letters, just like on the other pages in the Jolly Phonics. So you're going to go inside the outline and trace in each box. And you will see that each box has a different color. So A, B, C, D, E are in the red box. F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M are in the yellow box. N, O, P, Q, R, S are in the green box. T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And so those are all in the blue box. Okay, so once you are finished that, then you are going to move on to the bottom part of the page. So if you want time to finish that, pause the video here, and then I'm going to move on to the next part. Okay, the next part of the page says, write the lowercase letters next to the capital letters. So now you are going to take your pencil again, and you are going to write the lowercase letter beside the capital in each box, and you are going to use your best printing to write all of the words. Okay, grade ones, let's try page 28. So on this page, when we look at the top, we first see all of the tricky words. So this week, the tricky words are only and old. Okay, so what I want you to do is at the top of the page, you are going to be writing the word and then covering it up and then writing it again. So you'll cover the word, you'll write it again, and then uncover to check the spelling, right? So the same way, again, you're gonna cover old, try your best to spell it, and then try it again. So this will help you learn the words and how to spell them, okay? So once you're done that, then you're ready to move on to the next part. Okay, so when you look at your page, you will see that there's a picture, and then beside it, there's some jumbled letters. So there's the picture of the ant, and then beside it, there's the letters N, T, A. And what your job is on the bottom, you are going to pick the letters and put them in the right order. So you'll look at the picture and look at the letters and try to sound out the word to see which one it would be. So ant, that would be an A first. N, and then T, ant. Okay, so just like that, you would put it. So take a second to copy this down. You can pause the video. Okay, let's try the next one. The next one, we see a snail. So there's the picture of the snail, and then beside it, it's N, S, A, I, L. And your job is to spell the right letters. So when we are thinking about snail, what sound do you hear first? Snail, snail. Well, it's the S. So S, N. A. Snail. Okay, so what I want you to do now is pause the video here. I want you to try every other word. So I want you to do all of them. Okay, all of them. You're going to do the goat next, then the sheep, then the shark, then the crab, then the yak, then the chick, and then the fox. And when you are all done, all of them, the whole page, then you can unpause the video and I will show you how to spell them and you can check your spelling. Okay, but it's really important that you try all of the words first and only then you unpause so that you can check it. Okay, so now that you've finished the whole page, now it's time to check your spelling. So, goat is spelled G-O-A-T, goat. Sheep is spelled S-H-E-E-P. Then the next one, shark, Sh-A-R-K, shark. Then yak. Okay, kind of looks like a cow, kind of, but it's a bit different. Okay, next one is chick. Okay, And the last one. Okay, so this is the correct spelling for all of them. If you got one wrong, make sure you go back and change it, give it a good erase, and then change the letters, okay? These are all of the letters and all of the words for page 28. So if you're ready to move on, then you can continue watching the video. If not, pause it here and you can continue marking your words. Okay, so now we're going to start page 29. So if you are ready to go with your pencil and your Jolly Phonics, then let's get started. If not, pause the video here and get ready. Okay, so on page 29, today we are going to be writing about ducks. And I want you to take a look first at the picture on the page on page 29 and look and see what you notice. So you can even pause the video here and take a minute to look at the picture, look at all of the different things in there. Okay, so let's take a look. I see that there are two ducks playing, and I also notice that there is a frog peeking out from the water at the bottom of the picture. And there's a man fishing in the back of the picture. There's some bumblebees flying around. So there is so much that we can write about this week. I'm going to be doing some brainstorming on the board here. I will be writing about ducks, so that's what my brainstorming will be about, but you can write about anything else in this picture. So just like last week, I would like you to please do some brainstorming first. So you can take your green Writer's Workshop notebook, and there's lots of pages in there. Get a fresh page and do some writing and brainstorming. So if you would like, you can even write these words that I'm brainstorming down in the Writer's Workshop journal, or you can brainstorm your own with mom and dad. So if you need some time to go get your Writer's Workshop journal, the green one, then pause the video here and then we'll get started. Okay. So first thing I'm going to brainstorm is I want to do my nouns first. So when I'm going to start writing after my brainstorming part, I will be starting each sentence with a capital. Remember, we're using our writing checklist. So first I will be using a capital in each sentence. And I did notice some of you are not using capitals, so please be careful and use them. So let's do the nouns first. So I will be using blue for the nouns. Okay, so if you remember grade 1, the nouns are the person, place, thing, animal in the picture. So if I want to start off with something, I will start off with the word duck. Okay, and if you want to write about 2 ducks or 3 ducks, then you can just put an S at the end of the word to show that there is more than one. Another thing you could talk about is the frog at the bottom of the page. The frog is peeking out his eyes, or the fisherman. Okay, so those are all really good nouns that I can do. Also, I can use the word pond. So the pond is the water that the ducks are in. So, pond. Okay, so these are the nouns I've chosen to brainstorm. Of course, you can use other ones when you're writing, and you can use these ones as well. Okay. So now I'm going to move down on my writing checklist and I will be brainstorming some verbs. Okay, so if we remember grade 1's, verbs are the action words. So if we are thinking about a duck, what are some actions the duck could be doing? Well, the first one I think of right away is swimming. Or maybe the duck can be splashing. Or maybe the fisherman, for example, is sitting. Or he's fishing. Okay, so these are really good verbs that you can use, and of course you can use different ones. You can brainstorm your own. Okay, and now let's do adjectives last. I'll be doing them in black today. Okay, so the adjectives, if you remember, are the action, or the adjectives are the describing words. So when we are describing things, then we are using an adjective. So if I want to describe the ducks, then I can use adjectives like yellow, for example. Another one could be the size of the duck. So it could be a small duck. Another one could be, I could be describing what it sounds like on the pond. So I could say that it's quiet. Another one I could think of, let's see. I could say that the duck is brown. Right? So when we're thinking about adjectives, you want to think about what the noun that we're describing looks like. So what does the duck look like? What does the fisherman look like? What does the frog look like? And that will tell you what adjectives to use. Okay, so let's go through the writing checklist again. So first I have my capitals at each sentence. Then I make sure that I have a noun, a verb, and an adjective in each sentence, and a period. Now, another thing that I want you to think about is to use the 5 W's. So if you are still trying to copy this down, I'm going to step aside, pause the video, because I'm going to erase it. So if you want these words, pause the video here, and then I will erase it. Okay, so I'm going to erase to do the next part. Okay, so when we're writing, and we're writing more than one sentence, then we want to think about the 5 W's. So when I'm writing, I want to be able to answer these questions in my writing. So if Mrs. Greenhough is reading your writing, I should know who is the writing about. So in this case, you can be talking about the duck. So if your sentences are about the duck, then I know the who. It doesn't always have to be a person. What is happening in your sentences? So this one, most of you get all the time. So what is happening? Where? Tell me where the story is happening or where your sentences are taking place. So you can, for this one, you can say it is happening at a pond. Then I'm going to know where it is. When? So you can do this by talking about the time of day it is. So is it in the morning? Is it at night? Is it at lunchtime? Right? Okay, why? So this one's a little bit more challenging, but for this one you could talk about why the ducks are in the pond. Maybe they are playing together, so then that could be the why. If you're writing about the fisherman, why is the fisherman at the pond? Well, he's fishing. Then you are telling me the why. How? I know this one doesn't start with a W, but we just say that it's part of the 5 W's. How? So how did the fisherman get to the pond? Did he drive there? How are the ducks doing? Are they happy? Or how are they playing together, for example, right? So those are the ones that you should be answering. Now, you don't need to say what and then write your sentence. You can just kind of think about these before you start writing. So making sure that you have a who, what, where, when, and why when you are writing. And that will make sure that you are doing a really good job in your sentences. So I will do an example now with you. Okay, so I wrote this sentence on the board, and let's go through and see what I have. What am I missing? Okay, so you don't need to copy this down. I just want you to watch this part of the video and take a look, and I want to show you how you would make sure that you have your writing checklist in your sentences, and also that you have the 5 W's. Okay, so pay close attention. My sentence is, the yellow ducks were splashing together in the pond. First thing I want to check, do I have a capital at my beginning of my sentence? I do have a capital. So I can give that one a check. Now, I want to check for my nouns. So I'm looking for an animal, I'm looking for a person, place, or thing. So, well, I have the word duck, that is one noun, and I also have the word pond. So I have a place and a thing, an animal. So I do have my noun, so I can check that off. Okay, now the verb, my action word. Do I have that in my sentences? Well, here it is, splashing. Okay, now I want to check and see, do I have my adjective, my describing word? Oh yeah, I said my ducks were yellow, so I'm describing the ducks. I do have my adjective. Okay, and did I use a period? I sure did. So that's my writing checklist. Now I'm going to do the more difficult, more hard part, which is I'm going to check for my 5 W's. So if we are checking for the 5 W's, then we are going to be looking at the sentence. So I will read the sentence once again to remind you. The yellow ducks were splashing together in the pond. So first I want to do so I will write them here one more time so we can remind ourselves. We want who. Oh, that's not a very good color, is it? Who, what, where, when, why, how. Okay, so let's go down the list. Who? Well, I'm talking about the yellow ducks. So that is my who. I got that. What? What are the ducks doing? They're splashing together. I have my what? Where? Where is it happening? Oh, it's happening at the pond. When? When is it happening? Okay, let's take a look. I did miss this one. I didn't say when. So now I'm going to go back and add it. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I can take this out and I can add in the morning. In the morning, the yellow ducks were splashing together in the pond. So did you notice? I didn't rewrite, I didn't erase my whole sentence, I just went back in and edited. So I crossed out the word I didn't need, and I added what I wanted, and I added an error. So it's just that simple. You don't need to redo it every time that you're trying to fix a problem. You can cross something out neatly. I didn't go like this, right? I just did a small X, and then I'm going to add what I want, and I put the arrow where I want it. And this is just for Mrs. Greenhough to know where you want those words to go. So now I have what? Y. Well, I do have a Y because the ducks are in the pond, and why are they there? To splash together, so they're playing together. How? This one's a bit tough. So what I could do is I can start a new sentence because I don't have to have all of the 5 W's in one sentence. I can just have it in my writing. So I can do a new sentence to answer my how. So I will do that right now. So how did the ducks get there? So I can say the ducks, and I can say yellow. I forgot the word yellow. I can add it in there. The ducks swam to the pond. So now I'm telling the person reading it how they got to the pond. Well, they swam to the pond. Okay, they swim together to the pond, and then they're splashing around. So now I have my how, okay? And this would have everything I need. So let's just review what we need. We need to be using our writing checklist. We need to make sure we have our capitals, nouns, verbs, adjectives, period in each sentence. Every time you start a new sentence, has to have all these things. Then in my writing, so in the 3 or 4 sentences that I write, I need to have these. So I don't need to have this in each sentence, I just need to have this in my writing. So if you are writing 3 or 4 sentences, then those sentences should answer all these questions. And I made sure to do that. I even added an extra sentence because I noticed I didn't have it in my first one. Okay, so that's what I expect grade 1s, okay? To add all of this stuff in. And if you miss 1 or 2 things, that's okay. We're still learning. So just try your best to add these things in. Okay, welcome to page 30. So if you are ready to go with your pencil and eraser and Jolly Phonics, then you can start watching this part. If not, please pause and get all of those things, please. Okay, so on this page, we are learning about the E sound. The E sound. So far we've learned that when it's a long E, it has 2 E's. Now, today we are going to learn about the other ways that you can make an E sound, a long E. First, let's review one of the words that has a double E. So, for example, the word free has 2 E's. Okay, so when we read this word, it's free, F-R-E, long E at the end. Okay, so this one has a double E, and that is one way to write the long E sound. Okay. The next word that I want to talk about is the word Eve. Eve. So how do you think I would spell the word Eve? Well, if I start off, I would try E, V, and then I need to add something, another vowel, because when it's a long sound, it's always a double E. But in this word, it's a little bit different. It's not 2 E's together, it's actually here. So when we have a long E sound, sometimes the 2 E's are not together. They have another letter in between. So Eve is one example. So this is a long E sound, but the E's are not together holding hands. There's a consonant in between them, but we still read it as a long E. Another way to write a long E, I know there's lots of ways and it's a bit tricky, is this way. So if I have the word leap, like a frog is leaping, I would write it like this. So this also sounds like a long E, leap. But if you notice, the E sound is made from the E and the A together. So that is the other way to make a long E sound. So let's review. When we are making a long E sound, the E can be double E. It can be an E with a space. So there can be another letter here. So like we have Eve, E-V-E, or the more popular one is like that. So these two here are the ones you will see the most, the two long E sounds. So you have to remember, if it's double E, then it's a long E sound. If it's an EA, it's a long E sound again, because remember, the first vowel does the talking and the other one is shh, quiet. So I want to go over some of the words on page 30. So I want you to make sure that you're looking at the top of the page right now, and there's lots of words there for you to look at, okay? So let's go through them together. I will write them here on my board, but you don't need to copy this down because you already have it on your page. Okay, so I want us to look at these words and see what kind of long E sound it is. Are they using the EA or double E? So let's see this one. First, let's read it together. 3, 3. And you can see that this time it's using the double E sound. Okay. Now let's look at this one here. Leaf. Again, do you hear the long E sound? But it's using the EA sound. Or sorry, the EA letters. Now again, seal. Seal. E. Again, long E sound. And then we're using the EA. Okay? Now let's see this one. Teeth. That one is using the E, double E sound. Okay? And feet and B. So I'm not going to read all of the words on the page, but these are the first few. Okay? So as you noticed, I did this. So what I want you to do is for the next few letters to get a red and a blue pencil crayon, and I want you to underline the two letters and show me. Is it an EA or an EE? Okay, so I want you to use the two colors. So if it's EE, then with blue. If it's an EA, with red. Okay, and you can pause the video here if you need a few minutes to do that. So the next part of the page is you have to match the word from the top, the list of words from the top, to the picture. So the first one's already done for you. It's the word sheep. So all you need to do is trace that one. But the next one is a picture kind of like this. It's green. So what do you think this one is? If we are picking from the words only at the top of the page, then which one would this be? Leaf. And that's all that you have to do. You look at the picture, look at the words that you have, and then you write the word down below. Okay, and that's mostly it. So I'm not going to go over it again because I think you can do this on your own. So I want you to try this and put all of the words matching the pictures, and then mom or dad can help you see if it's correct, okay? All you have to do is see if the picture matches the word, and make sure that you're spelling them right because you're looking at the top of the page, so it should be spelled correctly. So that is it for this week's Jolly Phonics video, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video.